Hello everybody, my name is Stevie Marchant and this is my wood shop. Today's video is a follow-on from last week's drills video, and this is all about drill driver bits. So just a quick reminder, if you want to learn the very absolute beginners basics of woodworking, tools, what they do, how you use them, then this channel provides that information for you. Every week on Monday there's going to be a separate video learning about a different tool, how to use it, and you'll learn a lot from it. And let's get to it. First of all, just to let you know, you can actually buy kits, drill bit kits with a bit of everything in. I've got one over here just to show you. It comes as a case like this. Surprise, surprise, I've got this from Work Zone, which is an Aldi product. And basically, you get a bit of everything in it. Driver bits, metal bits, the other side, brad point bits, flat bits, nut driver bits. You get a little bit of everything. This is about £20 worth of kit, and it is absolutely well worth the money, especially if you don't have any drill driver bits to start off with. Something like this it's lasted me a long time, and whenever I'm stuck, can't find what I'm after, something like this saves me most of the time. Like I said, £20, it'll get you started. Righty, let's get to it. So as this is a woodworking YouTube channel, we'll start with the wood drill bits first. Now, first of all, very simple. We've got a spiral wood drill bit here, which, as you can see, very straightforward, fluted with a point at the top. And all that will do is drill a very simple hole . There we go, nice and simple, hole in the wood. Easy peasy. So what you'll notice with these is, because it's spiralled, it will, as it's digging in, it will take the wood chips and sawdust up the drill bit and out of the hole, so to make for easier drilling. Okay, next drill bit we have is a flat wood drill bit, or sometimes known as a spade drill bit. And these ones, as you can see, very thin, quite flat. They have a point at the end for centering and creating the initial pilot hole before the outer blades kick in. Now, nice and simple yet again. Chuck that in. So this one's an 18mm drill bit. And nice and easy next to the other one. I was expecting a bit of blowout on the back. Usually what you'll find with the cheaper flat wood drill bits like this is that when they come through the other side, they tend to blow out the wood, so you'll get chips coming out all over the place. But it's a bit better than I thought it was. The other thing to note about these kind of drill bits is they'll always have the measurement on the blade part there, or along the side. And that's in millimetres as to how big the hole is going to be. Okie dokie, so the next drill bit for wood we have is a Forstner bit. And what these are very good for is drilling flat bottom holes if you're only going halfway through or part way through a piece of wood. So yes, you can drill all the way through and it'll give you a nice clean hole. But if you're wanting to drill only part way through a hole, say to accept a dowel rod, then these ones are great, because if they don't leave this extra huge piece of wood cut out in the middle like the flat drill bits do. Let's give this one a go. There we are, as you can see. It's gone halfway through the wood and it's left a nice flat bottom hole, apart from that little tiny centering piece in the middle. Yeah, this is what I was trying to show you with the other one. So if you don't have a backer piece of wood, or it's not clamped down, then what it will do is the wood will blow out the back. That's what you call a blowout. So the wood will just chip away as the drill bit just blows out the back there. So you're left with this massive hole. Now, a way to avoid that is if you've got a scrap piece of wood, which both of these are, you can clamp the two together, and what you're basically doing is you're tricking the drill bit into thinking that it's an even thicker piece of wood, so it's going to drill all the way through, and instead of blowing out this one, it'll just carry on going, and this backer board will prevent this from exploding out. And the next drill bit I'm going to demonstrate is the lip and spur or brad point drill bit. This is quite similar to the just normal spiral ones in the fact that it does have a spiral shaft there, except you'll notice this one is actually a 135 degree point at the top there, whereas this one has a very sharp point for centering holes, and on the spiral shaft it actually has a much sharper blade than the traditional spiral one, and it makes for a much cleaner hole. So I'll demonstrate this one as well. There we are. So say if you've got a circle drawn anywhere in the middle there, or a dot where you need to drill a hole, you line up the brad point here, set it into the wood. You can press it down a bit to make that initial dig if you want to, if you feel better like that. And then, as you can see, it's a much faster cut because of the razor sharp edges. But you can also see the faster the drill goes, the messier it is. And there we are. So quite often, the faster the drill bit, the messier the hole's going to be. So the next wood drill bit, the last one I'm going to show you that I own, is going to be a hole saw. One of those. And what you'll notice is that it, rather than razor cutting edges, it actually has teeth that go around. Now think of it as a hand saw, but somebody's folded it around in a circle so it can cut a hole rather than in a straight line. So they'll always come with an arbor, similar to this one. A lot of them are different. I'll just show you the one that I've got. So this one has a screw thread here for the hole saw, and a threaded hole here that slots into there like that, and it screws in a backwards rotation to what the hole saw drills in, so that's to stop it from coming unscrewed whilst it's working. But as an additional safety measure with these, it actually has two pins on the inside that align to the holes. So if it does for whatever reason come loose, these pins will act as a safety measure, and it means that it can't twist out. So, and this one, and this is too big for my drill, so I'll just swap this drill out. Okay, so we've got a bigger drill, and that fits in the chuck like so. And there we are. So the pilot drill here will make the initial hole similar to the ones we demonstrated before, and that will guide this down in a straight line so it doesn't wobble and jitterbug all over the place. So mostly what these are used for is for drilling holes in the sides of cabinets to fit plumbing through, pipework, or drilling holes into stud-work for cables and things to fit through. You can use them, I've used them to make holes in a wine bottle holder for the wine bottles to go in. You can use them for quite a lot of different things, but if you're using them on a small piece of wood like this, you've got to make sure it's clamped down, because if you try and use one of these and hold it, the teeth will grab in and try and flip the wood away from you. So for a safety precaution, just have it clamped down and it'll be much easier. What you can do with these to prevent blowout on the other side is, once your pilot hole gets through to the other end, unclamp it, flip it over, and you can see the pilot hole is there, ready for you to line up again. And there you are. Now, as you can see, what these are also great for, the hole saws, is if you're making a toy car, you got some nice easy wheels. Okay, so for the rest of the drill bits and drivers that you can get for drills, I'll just briefly touch on them as they're not really necessary for woodworking. Driver bits are, but they don't really need a lot of explaining. So let's quickly run through those now. So you have masonry drill bits, which have a little winged tip, same as a fluted drill bit, except they have a hardened cutting edge to go through masonry, such as concrete, brickwork, cement, that kind of thing. So for cutting through metal and also wood, you get these special titanium drill bits which go through harder metals, and also the king ding of the metalwood drill bits is the cobalt ones, which will pretty much go through anything. Most of these require coolant to work because metal against metal creates sparks, friction, could cause a fire, so make sure you always use coolant with these. Right, so now we'll move on to driver bits. So these basically are anything that will turn a screw, nut, bolt into a hole. So these don't make holes, they put things into holes. So first of all, I don't think anybody actually uses these anymore. I don't think I've ever used mine. These are called slotted bits or flat bits. These are for drilling slotted screws. These have a very high tendency to slip out of the screw, which is why I don't think anybody uses them anymore. They're a bit rubbish, I don't like them. Then you have Phillips bits, which are just a cross, so they're sometimes called crossheads, Phillips. Then you have the posi bits. Posi drive is a cross-headed bit with an extra little diagonal raised bit in between each of the cross points. Basically what that does is just allows for a little bit of extra grip. Again, I still don't use these, the crossheads or the posis, because they cam out a lot, and what cam out is basically just it twists out of the head, so it doesn't grip the head anymore of the screw, and it just twists out and it can strip the inside of the head, which means it's harder to drive. Then also in this little set we've got here is my personal favourites. These are, in my opinion, the best ones that you can get, and these are Torx bits. They look like a 6-pointed star. They're practically impossible to cam out of a screw head. So what it is, I don't know. So as you can see, a 6-pointed star bit in the head of a screw there, and they do slot in absolutely perfect, and they do not come out. As long as you keep a nice even pressure on the bit, pushing it in, that won't go anywhere. Absolutely fantastic. And last but not least, if you're wanting to drive nuts or bolts, then you can get these little hexagonal sockets here. Now these are most often used in automotive socket sets that you get with a big old wrench, but you can actually get adapters that come with these little sets here, which is a little square. And what that does is it slots into the square back there and allows you to chuck that up into your drill, driving a nut or a bolt. Now, an absolute fantastic invention is the bit holder, and all it is, to save you from constantly loosening your chuck, tightening your chuck, you drop this in, tighten it once onto there, and it has a little hexagonal slot with a magnet at the end, and allows you to just drop the bit in and pop it out again. And these are relatively inexpensive, but they will save you a ton of hassle and give you a tiny bit of extra reach into a difficult space as well. And that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like if you did. There'll be another woodworking video next Monday. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a video, and I will see you next Monday. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye bye.